So I've been really into agent orchestration lately. I started Weave as a way for agents to communicate back and forth in different CLI instances. The Codex team has added subagents lately, and this is kind of my prototype of how to maybe combine the two. So I have a different command, Codex, just for keeping my original Codex version around. And this uses Codex subagents, but adds a user-defined subagent. So the agent's still free to spin up subagents for certain tasks, but these ones are created explicitly in the agents menu as ones that I want to basically define and name. So I'm going to add a writer and go back to the agents and critic. And you can see all my user-defined agents show up in the list here. And if I go back, and then kind of the nicest part, I think, or the most powerful part, is you're just using the tab button to switch between these. And so sometimes with subagents, if they go off on a long task, you don't know what they're working on, what their reasoning is, whatever. A big part of Weave was just having this orchestration with some insight into what's going on, and being able to prompt and interject, especially with the new steer features, things like that. So kind of the last piece, now that these agents are defined, we have the Weave command, or kind of like a mention command menu for the user-defined agents. And so this is just an easier way to reference them by name rather than ID, and they get mapped back to an ID when being sent to the agent. But this allows you to quickly spin up some agents that you define and then reference them in your workflow prompts. So here I might say okay, so I have writer, tell me a joke, and critic, rate it out of 10. So really simple workflow, and it's going to run. But if I jump over to the writer, I should see that request come in and see all of his reasoning in his response. So it does. I'll switch to critic. The writer stuff should be sent to it. There it is. So if this was a more complicated task, you would probably see some reasoning. If it was doing a code review, you'd see where it's at, and things like that. And maybe know how far it is to being completed. And if I go back to the main menu, I could see, the request to the agents and everything summarized here. So just a really simple way of managing agents for more complex workflows. And just to show here, it goes kind of in any direction. Jump over to main. Writer asks for a poem. And it shows up in the writer tab too. That's it.